Morning everybody, welcome to the show. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much for having a look. If you're a return visitor or a subscriber, appreciate your support. So this morning is a very cold frozen loch, you can see behind me. I think the predictions were with the wind chill it was going to be about -12 degrees Celsius this morning. There's about a 15 mph northerly breeze and it's absolutely freezing. So I've had the drone up in the air already. After about 5-10 minutes my hands got that cold that I had to bring it back down, but I think I got some nice footage. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a little walk around this place and see if we can find any nice compositions. So for this composition, what I'm looking to do, I'm just trying to get the last bit of the colour from the sunrise here. I've just had the drone up in the air, so I never had a lot of time this morning. Should have probably got here a little bit earlier, but I never had a lot of time to find compositions. And it's one of these days when there's hardly any clouds that the colour leaves the sky very quickly. You've probably got maybe 15-20 minutes and then it's gone. So I've just tried to, with this one I'm just trying to frame up the view a little bit just before the colour goes, so and also try and use the leading line to pull you round to the side of the loch. So settings on this one will be, because it's a little bit breezy this morning, I'm going to have to up the ISO a little bit to try and get the shutter speed to about an 80th of a second. So it'll be like ISO 400 f8 and it'll be about 80th or 100th of a second. That's what I'm trying to do with this one. You can see the edge of the frozen loch here curving in from the bottom left of the frame. You've got trees framing it on the left and you've got a frozen island framing it on the right out to the hills in the distance. It's hard to see on the video, but there's a little bit of clouds and just a little bit of orange still in the sky up the back there. So what I'm trying to do though is just make sure I've got a good balance between foreground and sky, etc. You don't want to have too much sky or too much foreground. If you were in this position you just need to kind of judge it for yourselves, but I'm down to ISO 100 because a little bit of tree movement doesn't really matter so much on this one because they're not too close. So ISO 100 or about a 50th of a second at f8. So what I'm looking to do with this one, trying to use from the bottom left of the frame again, we've got the frozen loch edge coming in from left to right, and that's creating a nice triangle between there and the horizon line at the bottom of the island. And I'm also I'm trying as best I can to separate the island from the trees. There's a fair distance between them and the other end of the loch, so you can sort of see it standing out as an island, but I'll try as low an aperture as I can, but I don't think it will create much separation because there's so much distance between me and the island. But it's all one take because we're shooting in the opposite direction of the sun. It's about an 80th of a second, ISO 100 f5.6. That's what I'm doing with this one. You can see we're going to get a nice sun star coming through the trees there. I'm just trying to use the edge of the loch leading you around again. The sun's shining across the loch on the other side there, just adding an extra bit of dynamic to the scene. So I think it's quite nice. We've got a lot of nice things going on in the composition here. I've stopped it down a lot. We're down to f16 just so that you can see the sun star coming through. But I think this one might turn out quite nice. Can't believe there are actually people out here smashing the ice up with axes and going to go in under for a swim. It's so cold today that I'm actually freezing with all my clothes on, so good on him. He's a tough guy. So I've just came into this nice little sheltered bit. The wind's coming this way towards the camera. I'm going to keep my hands up for 10 minutes. I'm going to get the 50 to 500 lens on. There's a flock of geese just arrived out in the middle of the loch there in the ice. And we'll see if we can find a nice little sheltered spot behind some trees where the wind's not catching the lens as much. See if we can get some nice photos. I think the shutter speed will be really quick anyway, because with the aperture open I'd imagine would be maybe 1,000th of a second or something, so it shouldn't matter too much about the vibration, but I'll report back to these once I find a position. So I've got the 50 to 500 on now. I'm just kind of hiding in behind some trees just to get out the wind so that I get some steady shots. So what I'm going to do, got kind of lovely silhouettes of the birds with the sun in the background. I'm just going to sit here for 10-15 minutes out the wind, keep my hands up, see if I can pick out some little shots. You can see how the wind's blowing across the lake as well. You never know, might get a lovely one there. Silhouette of a goose with some of the wind streams blowing across the loch. So for this composition, I like how you've got the frozen loch again leading you around the corner, trees on the left, and then across into the hills in the distance with the windmills up the top. I love the way the sun's coming in at a low angle, just casting shadows across the hill, showing the contours. So we're at about 120mm on the crop sensor camera, ISO 100 f8, and it's about 320th of a second. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks very much for tuning in, whether a new viewer or a subscriber or somebody who just comes to the channel every now and then. If you liked the video, could you please subscribe and give me a thumbs up? That really helps, and I'll try my best to keep making interesting content. But as for now, I'm away to get a cup of tea, heat up, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks.